Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, we'll see. I've never had that happen before. What's up, Ferret? Yeah, as soon as I was going to change my scene over from the montage, OBS just totally quit responding and crashed. So, I don't know. I don't know if I got it back up soon enough to just continue the stream, or if it's going to be a new broadcast or what, but hopefully that's the only hiccup we have this morning. It was weird. I've never had that happen. Ever. Really, really weird, man. Really weird. But we're here. Let me check something real quick. Kind of odd, man. Yeah, it did start a new broadcast. Okay. Well, we'll just get rid of that one. No intro there, I guess. So, kind of odd. Sorry, guys. We're back, though. And that be technology sometimes. So, happy Sunday. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? Really weird, man. No idea. I've never had OBS crash like that on its own. It just quit responding. Totally wouldn't do anything as soon as everything was fine. Everything was fine this morning through the entire montage, setting up everything. And then it just, as soon as I hadn't even clicked on anything yet. I was just getting ready to change over my scene to say hey to everybody, and it just grayed out. Wouldn't do anything. So, hopefully no more issues. But we're here and we got it. And it was an easy restart and for the software, and we're gonna have a great day. Absolutely. So hope everybody's having a great weekend. And we got video gaming news coming up for June 23rd, as well as a little bit more Ghost of Tsushima today. Maybe some X Defiant. We'll see. We'll see, depending on if there's anybody around that wants to play a little bit. But we'll definitely be continuing our progress through Act 3, which we got into yesterday with Ghost of Tsushima. So I guess on that note, let's do what we do, man. Let's get in here and see what we got for video gaming news today for June 23rd. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. X Defiant making big change to weapon experience. Interesting. Probably doesn't matter for most people right now. Most people have already leveled their weapons up all the way. But for any weapons being added moving forward, it will make a difference, I'm sure. Especially if it's a debuff. Marvel Capcom Fighting Collection removing what? Oh. A guest character from their games. Alright. Probably not a big deal. Let's go. I don't know that I agree with this. Video games peaked with the Xbox 360 era, and it's been downhill since. Was this person not around for every game that came out last year? Last year was incredible. Past year and a half has been phenomenal. I don't know. I mean, you know, I think the industry as a whole, you know, through the history of video gaming, we've had peaks and valleys, you know, but to say that it peaked in the Xbox 360 era and it's been downhill ever since, I don't know that I agree with that. You know, I think we're at a very low point right now in the industry, the way the industry is being run. And as a whole, there are some good companies out there doing good work. A lot of bad companies out there too, though. And it's being seen, you know, it's quite obvious. But I don't think anybody's going to deny that over the past year and a half, I mean, there have been a lot of phenomenal games out there. It really has been. This is about a bit of a weird title here. As Elden Ring's rating Team 17 publisher, so we'll take a look at that. Oh, I'm an idiot. I totally forgot about something. Okay, I suck. What an idiot. Sorry. One second, let me see something real quick. Bummer. All right. I'll bet. Here we go. Here we go. Still mixed at 62%. There's a lot of criticism about the bosses in this DLC. This is more, I think, you know, there are always going to be those people. I don't think I would probably be as thrown off by this personally on difficulty, even if it did come off as very steep learning curve or something, you know, difficulty curve. For me, it's going to be more of the, it seems like there's another reuse of boss issue here. And there's still a big performance issue. That's my biggest issue here. And I think a lot of people are still expressing a lot of concern over the fact that this game on PC is still riddled with issues 2 years later. Unfortunately. That sucks. Team 17 publisher sell. Blasphemous Bangers. Themasia, I think, did fairly well, man. Another Metroidvania there. Dredge, amazing game. Heard great things about Hell Let Loose. Trepang 2 is supposed to be very good. Yeah, lots of notable titles here in this sale. If anybody's interested. Good stuff, good stuff. Their summer sale is supposed to be coming too, man. Steam summer sale is supposed to be on its way pretty soon. What is it, like July something? We'll see though. We'll keep track. Yeah, we kind of touched on this. Antstream Arcade, Retro gaming subscription service is heading to iPhones next week. It's been on a lot of other platforms already, but it is hitting iPhone. Shadow of the Erdtree players say it's like playing Elden Ring again for the first time, especially on the front of PC players, basically saying that it's like they haven't touched performance on PC at all. It's like playing the PC version of Elden Ring when it first released. They have not fixed the performance issues of this game 2 years later. It sucks. Feels terrible. I was worried about it. What's up, Davey? How you doing, buddy? Time to relax for a day, dude. Yeah, let's go, dude. I get so sick of this. See this? We're getting so many outlets. The 20 best games where you are the bad guy. The 20 best games where you are the bad guy. There's so many outlets. Yo, dude, we've already seen like 10 to 15 articles. The same exact title. It's going to be the same exact article from different outlets. It's so frustrating, dude. I hate that. Jamming, baby. We're jamming, we're jamming, we're jamming. Wee. Replaced, I think, is that game I've been really looking forward to. Yeah, it's on my wish list. Yep. Yeah, this game looks like it's gonna be dope. This is funny. This is funny. Look at this. Stop calling Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree a DLC. Somebody's throwing a fit. Somebody's being a Karen. It is DLC. It's downloadable content, dude. It's an expansion, but it is DLC. What are you flipping out about? It's often referred to as a DLC, but it's not the most accurate way to talk about the game's major edition. Shut up! Jesus Christ. It's the best thing you have to write about. God dang, dude. God, Jesus Christ. I can't, bro. Jesus. Well, there's not very much news today, dude. Magic the Gathering's new cards are bringing 25. What is this? Yeah. I've often wondered over the past few years what traditional Magic the Gathering card players think about what they're doing with this Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, right? Like, obviously Hasbro's the major holding company. Wizards of the Coast is their subsidiary. And what they've done with Magic the Gathering, I mean, you know, they've taken this traditional standalone, very unique universe of there's a lot of lore behind it, very unique cards, and they've started doing all these mashups. They're like Fallout cards, Fortnite cards in there and stuff, and I'm like, man, this cannot come off very well, really, to the traditional Magic card players. I feel like they can't be really stoked about it, but I could be wrong too. I've wondered what they think, you know, traditional Magic, because I used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering whenever I was young, and it just seems kind of weird. An action-adventure Mortal Kombat title reportedly in consideration in NetherRealm. That's cool. Let's Fortnite Reload. We'll take a quick peek at what this is. Another game or game mode coming to the Fortnite universe, I guess. We'll see. What? Yeah, Chrono, dude. Interesting. We'll read this real quick. That's kind of wild. "17 new free games coming to PS Plus Extra this month. Premium is still a joke." Oh, come on. Okay. You have to see where this is coming from, though, as well. This is coming out of the MSN. This is Microsoft's publishing, right? So, I mean, I'll still, of my own accord, I do feel like Game Pass is a better subscription service. But it is still very subjective. I mean, I think if you take bias away from it, I do think that Game Pass is a better subscription service. It always will be, as long as a Game Pass continues to release day one games on their service and PlayStation doesn't. There's just, I think that's too big of a service edition, you know, an quality of life option for the service to give to consumers, for it not to make Game Pass stand out over something like PS Plus. I don't see how anybody can, in an unbiased setting, not agree with that, you know? But ultimately, a lot of what it comes down to is really What's your preferred platform? What kind of games do you prefer? What are you looking for out of these services? And that's what it's really going to come down to, what your preference is and stuff, right? Well, in an unbiased, again, take on it, I do think Game Pass is better. But it's weird to see, like, coming out of MSN, talking about what's coming to PS Plus Extra this month, and then taking, a backhanded remark at it. But premium is still a joke coming out of MSN. We'll try to find another article. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero reveals new game modes and split screen confirmed. Pioro has locked their account after leaking source to Bloomberg Reporter. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. This is where a lot of these leaks from for Nintendo information has been coming from. Interesting. Yes, we've read about the Time Splitters stuff. Tecmo Bowl, bro. I still have a cartridge on Super Nintendo of Tecmo Bowl 3, but I used to play original Tecmo Bowl on regular Nintendo with my cousin all the time. All the time. It was so phenomenal. What a great football game, dude. Tecmo Bowl was on regular Nintendo. It was so much fun, dude. It was a great game. Yeah, I mean, again, that's why I said what I said, Davey. Yeah, I do think, when you have to... I think it's important for us as consumers to take a hard look at what we're getting nowadays for what we're paying for. I think that's appropriate. Are you being taken advantage of just because you are, a company has gotten you locked into this notion of being a fan of their platform? Are they doing right by you, or are they taking advantage of you? I think it's an appropriate thing to take a look at occasionally and see if they're doing right by you just by being a fan of their platform and stuff, right? I do think that's important, because for too long now in this industry, in this form of entertainment, these companies have definitely taken advantage of people by just knowing that they have people locked into their platform and their platform alone, right? And so it's unfortunate. Their platform, their series, their IPs, their universes, whatever. They've done it for quite some time. It's unfortunate, They're like, well, they love our characters, so we'll make subpar games that have our characters that they love, and they'll buy it anyways, stuff like that. So, but I do find it off-putting when you've got a site like, an outlet like MSN, which is obviously Microsoft, right? That's a Microsoft-driven outlet trying to throw shade like that. It's like, come on, man. Obviously, you're going to be trying to not get people to buy into PlayStations, but it is going to be a very subjective thing. People are going to be a fan of different services based on what they are a fan of, and it's appropriate for people to have their likes and dislikes based on that notion. So, for sure. Because I will say, I remember, and I think every service deals with this, right? Every service deals with this. But I'll say one of the things that I've found about PlayStation service to be also off-putting to me personally, as somebody that doesn't buy into either one, it was really weird to me for them to only have the service out for a year, really, on any kind of front that was comparable to Game Pass. And again, they'll never stand toe-to-toe with Game Pass if they're not releasing their first-party games day one like Game Pass does. That's just too big of a quality feature that Game Pass provides that PS Plus doesn't, for them to stand toe-to-toe with something like Game Pass. But it was weird to me for them to have only had PS Plus out for roughly a year, and then they're like, well, we're raising prices on everybody, you know? And for me, as a business, in what they're doing, that's taking advantage of people they know they have locked into being a consumer of just PlayStation products, of PlayStation services. You know, that was one of those things that felt really, really bad to me. Because Microsoft, while yes, at one point had been close to raising prices on their Game Pass, they backtracked on it. They just recently at the same time raised prices, but they've had Game Pass out in, you know, since 2017 and hadn't raised prices until around the same time that PlayStation did. So it's a little bit more understandable. They've had this service out for quite a long time. They've also had a lot of things they've given to their subscriber base, like free trials and ways to get, you know, reduced costs for months of it, and I mean for a longer period of time, much longer period of time. And then PlayStation's only had PS Plus out for like roughly a year, and then they're like, we're raising prices by roughly an average of 25 to 30% on all of our subscriber. So it was like they're going to get everybody in on the subscriber, you know, that they can for a year, and then they knew what they were going to do. They were going to raise prices on everybody, you know, right away. They just wanted to get everybody in that they could out the gate. It's a pretty scummy thing, you know. That's what I'm talking about looking at what the company is doing to you as a fan of just the platform itself, what they're willing to do to the fans and consumers of their products. It doesn't feel very good. It doesn't look good, you know. Yeah. That's not true. We've talked about this. That's not true. There are not more games on Premium than there is on Game Pass. There's not. Nope. We've talked about this. We've looked this up. That's not true. No. They're actually fairly close. It varies from month to month. Random mode time. Bonk. And J-Can style. Get your random modes in there, peoples. So, again, I mean, I know a lot of it comes down to preference of platform and the games you're interested in, right? There's a lot of that. But again, I think that you cannot, in an unbiased setting, and if you take biases out of it, you know, it's really hard to not note the fact that Game Pass gives every game that comes out for Xbox or from Microsoft as a day one release on their service. That's a huge thing. What's up, Psych? How you doing, buddy? As opposed to other services that don't do that. It's a big deal. So we've looked up prices. We've looked up, you know, price comparisons. We've looked up the amount of games that each service provides and stuff. And actually, Game Pass and PlayStation Plus are very, very close to each other on the amount of games that they provide. They are. Think you just hate PlayStation? No, I don't hate it. As a matter of fact, dude, as a console player most of my life, I was more of a PlayStation fan than I was anything else. Yeah. I don't like most consoles anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Again, you also get day one releases. So I don't know. What's the price difference annually? Let's look that up. We'll look at Premium and Game Pass Ultimate. So PS Plus Premium 12-month subscription is 160 US. Yeah. 160 US. Now, here's the difference as well. You're gonna see a difference in this also in the fact that there's a difference in both of these services also because like Game Pass Ultimate is going to be more of a both. So let's look at these services real quick. So Game Pass Ultimate, right? Isn't Ultimate giving you both Xbox access as well as PC access? Isn't that correct? And again, every game that is playable on basically, there's a little bit of a difference, but for the most part, almost every game that is playable on, Xbox is playable on PC, which is not always the case with the PlayStation games either. Let's see this. Let's see the differences. There's PC Game Pass. Game Pass Core, I think, is the one that is for just the console itself, right? And then Ultimate is for both. Is that right? But we'll look at Ultimate and compare it to Premium. That's fine. Yeah, that's for console and PC. And then there's PC Game Pass, and then there's, but we'll just look at the prices. This is as of January, right? Yeah, so the Xbox Core or the PC Game Pass are going to be $10 a month. Which would be $120 a year, or the Game Pass Ultimate, which is where you get access to both console and PC, all the PC and console games, as well as streaming to like your phone and stuff. And day one releases, right, is $17 a month, right? So 170 versus 150 or 160, it's $10 more. $10 more. Right? And Premium, let's look at Tech Radar's explanation here. It's literally not bad site. Hold on. PS. I'm not trying to, it wasn't about that. I'm just trying to like get the facts out to everybody. That's it. It's just facts, dude. I'm just trying to get the facts out. That's it. That's all it is. You know what I mean? I just want people to be informed. That's all it is, man. Informed about what's actually there and what you're getting into, and you know what the options are and everything, so you can make informed decisions about what these companies are actually offering and giving to you as a service. That's it. That's all it is. It's not about winning or losing or anything like that, brother. That's not what it's about. But yeah, do your thing, man. Game away. I'm already in it, so I'm gonna see the premiums. $18 a month it shows now, actually. 160 a year. Okay, so 18 a month. It gets less per if you do it annually, though. Kind of like Game Pass does, yeah. Streaming games on PC and PlayStation consoles. Yes, nice. So again, I think that both services, if you're going with Game Pass Ultimate or versus PS Premium, they're quite comparable on most aspects. Most aspects quite comparable. I think that the price, you know, difference is going to be nominal. Really, I do think that Xbox is going to Microsoft and Xbox is going to have a bigger PC gaming library for you to access if you're in accessing their top tier, which is Ultimate, right? They're going to have more games for you to access on the PC side of things if that's what you're interested in, as well as being able to stream games to your phone and stuff like that, which I don't know if PlayStation can do. I'm not seeing that. And again, I think the biggest difference that you're going to see, they're very comparable. The top tier services are very comparable. But there's nothing that will change the fact of Game Pass giving you the day one releases. That PlayStation has been very adamant and very outspoken and blunt about not ever wanting or willing to do. For the foreseeable future, they're saying no, we will not do that for our services and our consumers, where Game Pass does. And again, if you're not a fan of Xbox's games, you don't really care about that, right? If you're not a fan of Xbox's games, that's not something that appeals to you, so it doesn't really matter, right? But ultimately, it is something. If you're just looking at what the services offer at their core, it is something that makes Game Pass stand out quite a bit more than something like PS Plus does, for sure. Soup, what up? Psych, how's the foot, brother? Both services are fine. It's better to buy a $70 game. Not if that game's Suicide Squad. From Rockstar. Okay, my bad. PS5 Pro win? You know when. Oh, let's go, dude. Yeah, for sure, buddy. Yeah, love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. GTA 6 is going to be the best. Just put it for 150. I don't think that's actually a too far off the mark of what people might be paying for that game in certain like editions and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to even see the base game be at like a bill, dude, like a hundo. You know, brother, you would have paid 150 for Suicide Squad. You did pay 100 for Suicide Squad, didn't you? Oh, brother. It was Wartels. Wartels, this one. You don't like that. You don't like getting called out like that, huh? A little salty. It was this one, brother. Yeah. What is it this time? What do you mean? New Garbanzo game? Brother. Well, sorry, it's no supermarket simulator, okay? My bad. Lots of games are reduced by 90% on Xbox this weekend. We'll take a quick peek. Yeah. There's a big we'll still address. I mean, I've got to get through Ghost of Tsushima first. But I'm still interested in potentially playing that, and I need to gauge interest in the community still about the potential of that, you know. No, dude, you search it. But we'll see. There's a big summer sale coming our way pretty quick on Steam Psych, and I'm guessing that game will probably hit a sale. We've got this up. We'll go one more page. There's been a lot of weird news this morning. Not worth diving into. He says, wait, what? Strauss's words are worth $1 billion? Brother. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Here, I got you, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Here it is. Yeah, there. Here. Yep, there's your worth $1 billion. There's your worth $1 billion. Alright? Get wrecked, dude. Josh's words are worth $1 billion of scumming money out of everybody that has that same attitude as you, Soup. Jesus Christ. Keep feeding him, Soup. Keep feeding him. Oh, man. Oh, dude. Team Fortress 2 has been suffering in silence for too long. I gotta pull this up for Pinky, dude. Pinky's been really, you know, he's in this boat, dude. You know, PlayStation gave you a fix for your issue. Was it a hammer? You were like, Sony, my PlayStation is not holding down my paper stacks the right way anymore. What do you recommend? They sent you a hammer and we're like, just destroy it. This is the only fix. You know what it was? You probably just had to use a little bit of elbow grease. The cover wasn't closing for the solid state drive. You probably just needed a little bit of muscle, dude. Probably should have just asked your waifu to do it. She could have handled it more than likely. Also Kappa, dude. Brother. Oh my god, dude. Jesus. Oh god. What? Are you serious? Oh god. You know what happened? Did you actually send it in or something? Oh, no way, brother. Are you serious? They were probably like, this dingle. I have a pig still. They were like, how do people do this kind of crap? This was what they were saying about Soup behind his back when he sent this in. They're like, how do people do this stuff, dude? Oh man, that's funny, dude. Yeah, we've talked about the Dragon Quest remakes. Let me see it. Let me see it, dude. Let me see it, bro. I want to know what the thought process was here. What was the thought process when this wasn't working right? You weren't like, oh, let's try it the other way. You just kept trying to jam that thing in there backwards. I'm dead, dude. These statements, bro. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yo, is this the new 4 terabyte you got, though? You got the new 4 terabyte all hooked up, dog? Alright, we'll stick with these. Yo, where's this picture at, dude? Alright, lots of games are reduced by 90% on Xbox this weekend, June 18th through the 25th. Looking for some cheap Xbox games in this week's Xbox sale. Lots of games in the 90% and even 95% off range at the moment, including some big titles such as Mortal Kombat 11, Injustice 2, LEGO DC Supervillains, and multiple Sherlock Holmes adventures. You'll find all the 90% discounts from this week's Xbox deals in the table down below. Then we've also picked out just a handful or two of the best offers from the 80 to 85% ranges. Plenty of bargains to enjoy this weekend. Look in the tavern. Well, you told me, don't act like you don't constantly be pasting pictures into the links for pictures into the flippin' chat, dude. Right? I'm gonna send a picture, and then act like I'm supposed to know you're putting it in the Discord. This is you, Mr. Non-information or misinformation, dude. Wait, what? So, hold on. Let's look at this. So, this is yours, right? Missing cover. Because you bent it. I mean, I've never looked inside a PS5, so I don't really know. The pins close to the fans. You talking about these? Or what? These are just the screws for the fans, right? I don't know exactly what you're trying to get me to look at here. Are you talking about these? Yeah. You got something stuck in there? Why? How did you get something stuck in there, dude? What? Bro, you're a trip. Crap, dude. So wait, where's the solid state drive access at? It was backwards, but it worked from the force. Yo, that's why you need to stay away from the force and use the dark side, dude. You know what I mean? You talking about under here? Yeah. You're funny, bro. Well, I mean, dude, that's just learning, dude. That's just learning, you know. So now, I mean, if you ever need to do anything like that again, you know now, right? So, I mean, a lot of times, dude, that's, you know, sometimes you have to learn by making mistakes. It's just sometimes the way it is. But quite often, if you're going to be doing doing things like this, right? Like, one of the things that you'll learn fairly quickly when you're working on items such as this, it's all about either taking pictures while you go so you have a very good roadmap of how things were before you took them apart, or you do a very good job of laying things out in the exact way they were taken off, so you know exactly the same way that they go back on and stuff like that, right? Even for like screws and stuff. If you have to take out a screw to take a part off, then you take the screws and you label them, or you even take those screws and after you've taken the part off, you put the screws back into where they can be placed as a placeholder until they're ready to be put back on for a to secure the part that needs to be attached again and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Paid $100. Someone tell me I'm just playing. But I mean, this is all part of learning how to. The main thing is that you were at least willing to give it a go yourself. You know, most people are too reluctant. Most people are too scared to try this kind of stuff themselves. That's half the battle, dude. That's half the battle. So how would I dismantle a Steam Deck? Too many screws? Nah. You just gotta again, you gotta be diligent in the process of, you can't rush it. You need to be very diligent in taking the time to, you know, track where everything goes and label stuff. And, you know, the more you do that kind of stuff, the more I think you get good at just taking mental pictures of things and being okay with disassembling and reassembling products and being fairly comfortable with it. But half the battle is being you know, willing to dive in and take that. I mean, I've been doing this kind of stuff forever, you know, and there's not much that I come across that makes me feel, you know, like I can't take care of something like that, you know. So $300. $300 for a cover for the PS5? That's half the price of a console. What? Okay, almost half. All right, it's still absurd. It's still absurd. All it is a plate. All it is, it's a flippin' cosmetic item. It literally does nothing. It's a cosmetic item. Had an Xbox, it means I have to fly to the USA and find you first thing. Is the support? Bro. No, we would just take all that money and build a PC is what we would do. I would get you on the right track. Yes. Yeah. I'd finally get you on the right track, dude. No doubt about it. Dude, that's insane, though. That's insane. That's like 40% the cost of a PlayStation console. A cosmetic item. Come on, man. What's it made out of? Diamonds? Bro, that's insane. That's crazy. Nothing that shouldn't cost that much. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's made out of plastic, brother. It costs a 40% of what a brand new console would cost. That's crazy, dude. Can't you buy like aren't there a lot of OEM manufacturers though that actually make like custom faceplates for them and everything? Aren't there? I thought so. But again, I haven't had a PS5, so. Or are they just like kind of wraps or something for them that like snap on? You want the vanilla? Yeah, that's the problem. That's where they're getting people. People that want the console to look original, you know? They want that original cover or whatever. Yeah, dude, that's so gross. That's disgusting. Yeah, that's disgusting. Brother, that sucks. I mean, dude, I really can't. I know I was kind of memeing on you a little bit, but I respect you, dude, for diving in there and trying to do everything yourself, you know? This is a concept for life. I think, you got to be willing to take leaps and try things out. And it doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes, but it does give you the opportunity to learn and grow as a person. You know, this is just one of those kinds of situations, and I respect you for it, man. And the more you are willing to take these kinds of opportunities to learn and grow, you know, the more you'll do just that. So I very much respect you and applaud you for it, dude. Yeah. So I know it sucks. You made a mistake, but it was unintentional, and you'll grow from it. You'll learn from it, man. The more you buy, the more you save. I don't think that's the way that works. I don't think so, dude. No, I don't think that's the way that works. But I think you get what I'm saying. Let's look at these discounts on these Xbox games. Games like Mortal Kombat 11, Injustice 2, Lego DC Supervillains, and multiple Sherlock Holmes adventures are up to 95% off. What do we got here? This is a list of some of the more notable games that they've got listed. Ari and the Secret of Seasons, Bear With Me, The Complete Collection, Cartoon Network, Battle Crashers, Contra Rogue Corp, Christel's Curved Space, Injustice 2, Lego DC Supervillains, Le Grand Legacy, Tale of the Fate Bounds, Lost Words Beyond the Page, Maximum Football 2019, Maximum Football 2020, Monster Energy Supercross 2, Monster Energy Supercross 2 Special, MK11, Mr. Driller Drill Land, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, One Piece Burning Blood, One Piece World Seeker, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows Deluxe Edition, Override 2 Super Mech League, Remothered Broken Porcelain, Ride 3 Gold Edition, Rock of Ages 3 Make and Break, Rustler, Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment Redux, The Essential Bundle, and The Devil's Daughter Redux, Street Outlaws The List, and XCOM 2. All of these are up to at least 90% off. As you can see there, they list UK and US prices here. And They've got even more games that are 85% off. Assassin's Creed Origins, Cobra Kai, Far Cry 5, Hot Wheels Unleashed, Shenmue 1 and 2, Watch Dogs Legions. Games reduced by 80% would be things like Assassin's Creed Odyssey Contra Anniversary Collection, Olympic Games Tokyo, South Park Bundle, Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Wolfenstein Alt History Collection, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Alright. There's going to be many more titles than this, but that's at least a chunk, a list of them. So take a look, see if there's anything you're interested in, okay? I don't like the PS5 came in as white instead of black. Yeah, I agree. I like to see the PlayStation as a and it looks like the Pro version is going to be black actually. That's what it's looking like. I don't like the PS5 came in white instead of black. Yeah. Yeah, I've always liked the black for the PlayStation. I'm not a fan of the white. I think at the very least what they should do is give you an option. They should push out both colors. If they wanted to, because traditionally PlayStation, well, I mean, PlayStation started off as like what, a cream color? What is that? Gray? It was like gray, right? Yeah. And then it started kind of becoming more dark and black, and then now it's like gotten to where it's white. And I don't know. I think what they need to do is just push out options. Give people the option of either black or white. I think that's appropriate. But I think what they did is they knew they were going to come out with a PS5 Pro, and they wanted to give just that black option for the Pro to make it stand apart from the original, probably is what they were doing. It does look like the Pro's coming in is going to be black. So, we'll see. Yo, this is for our dude Pinky. So, let's see what we got here. I don't think he's hanging right now, so I'll have to probably link this to him. But Team Fortress 2 has been suffering in silence for too long. Valve's reported negligence has deeply wounded one of its most beloved games. The story highlights here is Team Fortress 2 is a game beloved by many as the last bastion of casual gaming. The game has been frustrating to play for 5 years due to a rampant cheater issue, and Fix TF2 is an online movement that aims to attract Valve's attention to their dying game. There are a lot of people that have loved this game. TF2 is one of the author's favorite games. Spent the better half of their entire youth on it and does not regret a single moment. So to understand that this article comes from a place of passion and extreme concern. They love TF2. Remember watching the Meet the Team videos on YouTube as a kid and was instantly hooked. Fell in love with the characters, the lore, the art style, and the competitive yet casual nature of the gameplay. Loved playing the game and having wacky shenanigans alongside friends. Rather, I should say, I used to love all these things, and I and many others haven't been able to have fun in our favorite game for a while now. The bot crisis. You see, since approximately 5 years ago, the game's official servers have been utterly overrun with cheater bots that use wall hacks, aim bots to insta-kill players, kick innocent players out of servers, and spam hate speech and other vulgarities on in-game chat and voice chat, which is insane. There are even reports of individuals that host these bots committing actual crimes such as doxing their opposition, usually regular individuals' information, slandering non-consenting parties, hate speech, and have recently been advertising and possibly distributing mature media involving minors. And why is this a big issue? Well, that latter one there should be obvious. You might be asking, what's the big deal kicking the bots and continue playing? Soon the anti-cheat will permanently ban the accounts. Not that simple, as the bots join in packs to overrun the legitimate player base in a server, after which they call reinforcements to take over the server completely. Lastly, any banned accounts are easily replaced with low costs, as TF2 is free to play. So what did Valve do to fix this growing virus, besides disabling all chat for new free-to-play accounts or minor adjustments to the voting system? Valve has done nothing of value to combat the bot crisis. Isn't surprising considering the game hasn't seen any major updates since 2018 after the Jungle Inferno update. According to Valve, working on anti-cheats is treadmill work, meaning working on anti-cheats is useless as hackers can bypass it at a later date, thus creating an infinite chase of cat and mouse. It is. It always is. It's always a cat and mouse chase, and we've talked about that many times. As somebody who has an utter disdain for cheaters. I hate it so much. Cheaters in competitive games, I hate it to the utmost degree. It is something that pisses me off so bad. It ultimately, I am always going to, basically narrow down what cheaters are to just being soft gamers that can't stand to lose and are willing to cheat to get the instant gratification of not having to deal with losing and don't want to put in the time to learn how to get good in a game. Okay, there's going to be some that do it just to troll or whatever, but I don't think that's all there is to it. People go, well, yeah, some people just do it to troll or whatever. Yeah, I still think in the back of those people's minds there's that sentiment of they can't stand to lose. They don't know what it's like. They haven't had a big enough life beatdown to give them the understanding of why it's important to learn how to be a good loser and to why it sucks to ruin everybody else's game and why you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Ultimately, they're crappy people. And they ruin everybody else's experience, and it sucks. I'll stick to that sentiment, dude. I don't ever see myself pivoting off of it. I don't have an issue with people cheating in games that are like not affecting anybody else. If you're gonna go play, some single player game, you want to run wild mods that affect the gameplay or cheats and hacks that affect the gameplay, and it's only affecting your experience, whatever, dude. Then by all means, have your fun. But when you're running cheats and hacks that are negatively affecting everybody else's experience that's playing the game legit, you suck. And you deserve to get wrecked. The thing that's really terrible about it is it's not an easy thing to address. It never has been. And I think developers are getting more creative and more inventive about how to deal with cheaters, but it's especially hard in free-to-play games. We're playing one right now in X Defiant together in the community, and you can see the cheaters, that are still plaguing even a brand new free-to-play, a modern free-to-play game. They're having a tough time dealing with it. As Ubisoft, the developer of the game, you can tell they're playing this cat and mouse game. They'll find ways to get rid of the cheaters. The cheaters will find ways to circumvent those measures that have been put in place, and it's a vicious cycle. It's cyclical. It keeps going round and round. Dude, yeah, I was getting ready to say I didn't think you were around. I was going to read this and then send it to you, but yeah, this is it's always been one of those games for every competitive game that's out there, especially shooters. Shooters have been dealing with this kind of issue for a long, long time, and so it's a difficult thing for developers to address. It always has been, and I think one of the problems here for TF too. I think ultimately there's on top of what they're going to refer to as the cat and mouse chase, this game's got age under it now, right? This game's got age under it. And so I think part of what the issue is, in my opinion, is they've gotten tired of dealing with it. I think the developers have gotten to the point where they're like, it's not worth us putting the time and effort into anymore when we have other projects and games that we're more dedicated to. Unfortunately for the fan base, I do think that's a big part of what's happened here. The game has gotten substantially older. They've got other projects and stuff they're working on, and I don't feel like they probably think at Valve it's worth devoting resources to anymore. And that is crappy for all the fans of this game. It sucks. It does. But I do think that's where they're probably at with it. I think that it's more worth for developers as a game is newer and you still have a high player base, that it's worth devoting the resources to try and prevent the cheating and hacking, to maintain the maintain the game's legitimacy, you know, the atmosphere of it being a legitimate place for people to enjoy the gameplay and not let it get overrun by cheaters and bots and hackers and stuff like that, because you want people to continue to be there and play and pay in any aspect that you can get them to do that. But at a point, I think that if the player base dwindles of legit players, and it's not worth devoting the resources to anymore, and I think that's where the levee breaks, right? And I think that's probably where Valve got to with this game, more than likely. The problem is that not doing anything about the bot problem, ignoring them, is seriously messing up the game and Valve's reputation in the long run. By the way, what they consider treadmill work is known as routine maintenance by the rest of the world. Why fix TF2 should matter to you. TF2 community, we hear you. We love this game. We know you do too. We see how large this issue has become and are working to improve things. This was May 26th of 2022, okay? That was a tweet. Like that's ever going to happen. Some people may be feeling deja vu reading this article, and they're not mistaken, as there has been a similar Fix TF2 movement before called Save TF2. After gaining Valve's attention and response on Twitter, the movement failed as Valve never kept its promise, and the situation only worsened from there. Why should this movement matter to you as the average gamer? If this kind of behavior isn't spoken against soon, every long-term multiplayer game may be a victim of Valve's maintenance philosophy. I mean, Ubi wants gamers to not own games anymore. This was taken a little bit out of context, okay? It was. This statement was taken a little bit out of context. Read into it if you want. We've covered it. Blizzard is too busy polishing its games with lawsuits. EA as well. EA, agreed. And I hate Blizzard nowadays too. And now Valve too. So, I mean, take a look at Counter-Strike 2, which is also facing the same problem as Team Fortress 2. Absolutely. That this is not wrong, you know? And you're talking about Counter-Strike 2 is still an incredibly lucrative game for them, right? I mean, which we've read about some really wild stuff here recently where you can rent skins now, which is kind of disgusting, in my opinion. And I didn't realize how bad Counter-Strike was until here recently when I'm talking, like, I had read and seen some videos where people are talking about, like, you basically have to implement a whole bunch of your own mods and stuff to try and prevent people getting into matches with you that are trying to run. It's like Valve's not taking care of anything on their own end almost. It's really, really wild. Cheaters overrun that game as well, talking about CS2. Except it's more detrimental since Counter-Strike matches have a longer duration and you can be penalized if you choose to leave a game due to frustration. Document made by the YouTuber Mega Scatterbomb details how bad the bot crisis has gotten. He has resorted to taking matters into his own hands by attempting to create his own anti-cheat software for the game. Alongside this, he also made a public Mega Cheater database to help document cheaters encountered in the game. You know, one of the biggest issues about this too is what sucks, I think, about this is you get people that love this game so much that what's going to happen, and what I'm sure has happened, is that you've got people that don't want to cheat but feel like the only way they've been able to compete is to do the same thing. And that is so unfortunate, you know, that you've got people that I'm sure have not wanted to, but have ultimately resorted to trying to get on a level playing field in this game by running their own cheats and hacks because they feel like it's the only way they can get on a level playing field because of how rampant the issues are in a game like TF2 now, you know, and that sucks, man. So hopefully I've convinced at least some people to help this timeless masterpiece in dealing with these robotic reprobates. If you want to help, these are some things you could do to help the cause. Sign the petition to show Valve how much we all care about this game. Raise awareness on Twitter. Still not calling it X. Me either. Thank you, author. I appreciate that. By using Save TF2 or hashtag FixTF2. Raise awareness on other social media sites. Team Fortress players getting sentimental and trying to make Valve care about their creation won't work now. Instead, 1. Negatively review the game on Steam to gather Valve's attention to the issue. This is already happening in a large capacity. It's getting crushed. Do not negatively review any of Valve's other games or any other game mods in general. Last but not least, do not stop pestering Valve about this issue even after they give out an official reply to us. If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. No doubt. Yeah, it's a pretty big issue. I think you can't talk about this. What were you saying, Bingy? Unfortunately, in TF2, the cheating there isn't there for that reason. Wait, what now? Cheating there isn't there for what I missed when you put that into chat. Please elaborate for me, buddy. I missed when you to be better than other players. Yeah. I think this is a tough thing to address. I mean, you're talking about ultimately this is a failure on Valve. Like, don't get me wrong. You know, you're talking about a game that is quickly approaching 20 years of being out, right? And that's a substantial mark. I mean, we're what, 17 years? 17 years of release, you know? Sure, yeah. Right. Yeah. And again, I think that, the unfortunate, inevitability of the world we love in video games is that age kills almost every game, right? The time kills almost every game. Right. Yeah. And so there's some different issues that come along with this, and this has obviously been a very good game for them. It's been a very good game for a lot of people, and I'm not making excuses for Valve, don't get me wrong. I mean, if ultimately, if they're going to continue to keep games alive and and there's still a community based around these games, they need to be open and communicating and following through with what maintaining these games is about. They need to be making sure that people understand what's going on. They need to be communicating what they're trying to do. And if they're not planning on continuing to support the game in a fashion to prevent things like this from happening, then they need to also be communicating those kinds of things to the people that legit play the game and have played for a long time and are hopeful that it's going to continue to be something supported. This is, I talk about communication all the time in the industry, and it's not just communication on the front of game development in the first place. It's game development through and through after release. You know what I mean? All the way through the death of games or whatever. It's very important to the community that's centered around these games and who are invested in these titles and love them. I mean, this is something that developers need to be better at in large part, right? So, no matter what the situation is here for Valve, the way they're addressing this, if they feel like it's hitting end life, or if they want to continue to support it, or if they're, whatever the case is, I don't know. I've never been into Team Fortress, but this feels bad for people that have. There's been a ton of people that have loved this game. Obviously, I mean, you can see, even after all these almost 52,000 negative reviews in the last 30 days, by the way, this should tell you how many people are still playing this game. 52,000 negative reviews in the last 30 days, right? Or almost, 11% of these reviews have been positive. Of these 52,000 reviews, 11% have been positive. The rest have been negative, right? That tells you how many people are still invested in this game and are still, hopeful that Valve is going to do something right here, do something positive, and take care of this title. This should tell you, you know, how much this still means to people, and it's unfortunate to see how much Valve has just kind of let it go to the wayside, I guess. And overall, this is still an 85, even after all these negative reviews they've been getting here recently. It's still, and I mean, Pinky and I have talked about this here recently a bit. He made me aware of this because he's been a big Team Fortress 2 player for a while. But even at, it's still sitting at 85% positive of over, you know, 1.1 million reviews. You know, I mean, it's an ultra popular title. It has been for a long time, and you know, I think that the big thing here is whatever's going on, whatever Valve is planning here, they need to be communicating and following through with what the communication is with the player base. It doesn't feel good, you know. All right, buddy. All right, man. Cool, man. I mean, that's all I was going to touch on for it. So if you've got any kind of sentiments you want to add into it, then by all means, man. Yeah. Where are you in Ghost of Tsushima right now, man? I just got a Poggers flipping helmet yesterday, by the way. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just too flipping good. I was dying, dog. I was dying laughing. This helmet is gonna be the play for the rest of the playthrough. I don't think there's anything that's gonna trump it, dude. I don't think anything will be able to be better than this. I really don't. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero reveals new game mode, split screen confirmed. As the release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero approaches, the game is set to become a dream come true for many Dragon Ball fans, continuing the legacy established by the Budokai Tenkaichi series. The release date announcement at Summerfest has just concluded, revealing new features in the story mode of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, but leaving fans with many questions. To address these questions, Bandai Namco and Spike Chunsoft recently released a new gameplay video for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, introducing the game's modes, which include 3 main modes: Episode Battle, Custom Battle, and Local Multiplayer Battling. Cool. We've already seen this, but I'll link for you if anybody wants to watch it. In Episode Battle, you'll be experiencing the perspectives of 8 different characters, with Goku and Vegeta among them. In each episode, players will go through an introductory cutscene and then head straight into battle. The number of episodes and battles will depend on the character chosen, with Goku having the most episodes, spanning from Raditz's appearance to the Tournament of Power. In certain episodes, depending on the player's choices, the game story might diverge from the original anime. Next is Custom Battle, where players will fight battles in their own custom scenarios. In Custom Battle, there will be bonus battles, a mode where players can engage in battles prepared by the developers, each with different win conditions and some featuring cutscenes during the fight, allowing for a unique experience compared to regular battles. Players can freely choose their characters and customize the pre- and post-battle cutscenes in edit mode. These custom scenarios can then be shared online for other players to experience. Lastly, there's local multiplayer battling, the much anticipated split screen mode. However, in this mode, players can only choose the hyperbolic time chamber arena. According to Jun Furuatani, we wanted to show effects like the wind blasting around and the weather changing just by charging your ki, and rocks and buildings being dynamically destroyed by the force of battle, and take advantage of the power of the latest generation of consoles. He added, with that in mind, it was difficult to implement local split screen multiplayer while retaining those core elements, so we developed this game with online multiplayer and an offline single player mode in mind. Adding this mode at the last minute, this was the best they could do. Although the split screen mode isn't the same in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, this decision was made by the developers to maintain a dazzling and exciting experience. Despite this, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero seems to be in a good position with many exciting features to keep players engaged, receiving positive feedback from those who got to experience the demo version of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Set to release on October 11th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. Cool. Nice. I'll link it if you want to watch the trailer. Apparently, Pinky didn't want to answer my questions, so I'll just have to talk to him later or something, I guess. Pyoro has locked their account after leaking source to Bloomberg Reporter. We talked about this yesterday. This was apparently where a lot of the information out of Nintendo was coming from, and yeah, now they've locked their accounts. So yesterday, Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier wrote an interesting article on video game leakers, and one of those was the respected leaker Pyoro. Jason contacted Pyoro over direct message ahead of the article being published, and the leaker admitted that Jason that his source was a Nintendo employee based in Japan who seemingly had access to the company's web backend. Last night, Pyoro published a tweet on Twitter saying, WTF, I didn't know they would include my responses in their report. Pyoro has now locked their Twitter account, which has amassed nearly 110k followers. Pooh. Big-time gaming leaker Pyoro has locked their account after leaking their source to a reporter. Yikers. Yeah, I agree. Pretty naive for a leaker to be surprised when they say what their source is and it leaks. Yeah. Possibly might have gotten a Nintendo employee fired. Yup. Yeah, to be clear though, the employee choosing to leak the info was taking the risk. Absolutely. Yep. There'll be more to come of this. Quite sure about that. Dragon Ball's Toyotoru inks the lead character from a beloved Super Nintendo classic, Chrono. Toyotoru, the official artist behind the Dragon Ball Super manga, is taking on a classic role-playing game from Super Nintendo. This genre-defying RPG following concept and character art by the late Akira Toriyama, who is better known throughout the world as the creator of Dragon Ball. In the latest edition of Toyotaru tried to draw, the official Dragon Ball website uploaded Toyotaru's artwork of Chrono, the silent protagonist from the 1995 Super Nintendo game Chrono Trigger. This game features lots of concept art drawn by Akira Toriyama himself, which is just one of the many things I loved about it. Toyotaru said, Toriyama was the lead character designer for Chrono Trigger, designing the human characters, Mega Creations, and amphibian warrior named Frog. Still considered by many as one of the best video games of all time, Chrono Trigger is, yes. Developed by Square, formerly Squaresoft at the time, Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi, Dragon Quest creator Yuji Horii, and of course Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and character designer of Dragon Quest. Upon its original release, critics praised Chrono Trigger for its innovations in gameplay, such as making enemies visible on the map so the players could decide whether or not they wanted to engage in turn-based combat. Yeah, Chrono Trigger's engaging and emotional storyline was praised by critics as well, despite it being more simplistic than its competitors. Many of the game's characters share the same visual traits from Toriyama's artwork, such as the cave woman Ala, appearing similarly to the trigger-happy launch from Dragon Ball. The red spiky hair of Chrono is also similar to Toriyama's Super Saiyan designs, especially when compared to Super Saiyan God Red Goku. Before passing away this year, Toriyama developed the multimedia franchise Sandland and the upcoming Dragon Ball Daima anime series. Yeah, since its original 95 release, Chrono Trigger has been re-released on numerous gaming platforms, including PlayStation and the Nintendo DS. The most recent re-release has been on mobile devices and PC via Steam. The Dragon Ball Super manga remains on hiatus, but new artwork by Toyotaru suggests that the series may resume publication sometime in the near future. The Dragon Ball anime franchise is available to stream on Crunchyroll. Cool, man. Very neat. What an iconic game, dude. Chrono Trigger is. An action-adventure Mortal Kombat title is reportedly in consideration at NetherRealm. God, I hate this big, stupid, flippin'. Okay. Still too big. NetherRealm rumored to explore an action-adventure Mortal Kombat game or something based on Injustice. Trusted insider at the versus Cooper on Twitter has a good track record of sharing convincing leaks and updates on video games in the past. Recently shared a post while dropping the major rumor. The account wrote that NetherRealm Studio is exploring an action-adventure mode or spin-off based on its titles. The Scooper then mentioned that the game in consideration might be Mortal Kombat, but Injustice is also not far behind. So apparently, Ed Boon had previously expressed interest in a spin-off based on an old Mortal Kombat title called Shaolin Monks, right? Shaolin Monks was initially meant to be a single-player project. Later, it was turned into a co-op-based game. Featured fan favorites like Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion as primary playable characters. There's also a versus mode that added extra characters to the lineup. So speculation here is that a new action-adventure game based on Shaolin Monks is possibly on the way. Grain of salt there, though. Rumor also mentions Injustice. So could be something on that front as well. We'll see. We'll keep our eyes and ears open. We'll see what comes from this. What? Fortnite Reload official launch trailer. Fortnite Reload is a new game mode within the Epic Games developed third-person battle royale. Players will engage in the fast-paced, high-action game about carrying the squad to victory. If players are eliminated, they have the chance to rift back into gameplay over the course of the match until the reboot timer expires. The new game mode features 40 players on familiar yet smaller maps such as Tilted Towers and Retail Row. Fortnite Reload launches on June 22nd. That was yesterday at 11 a.m. PT Pacific Time on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, mobile, Mac, and PC. There you go. Cancel. All right, lastly, this is what we got before we play Ghost. X Defiant making a big change to weapon experience. This will be maybe some important stuff for all of us that have been playing this together. Ubi is addressing X Defiant weapon grind complaints with changes to XP gain speed. Players criticized increased grind for weapon levels, prompting Ubisoft to double speed. Future updates will reduce experience needed to level up weapons and making unlocking skins easier. Ubisoft has acknowledged player complaints about the grind in its recently released shooter X Defiant. To rectify the issues, which were partially introduced by a previous update, the company announced major changes to the X Defiant weapon experience grind. Many complaints centered around the slow speed of X Defiant weapon level gains, and Ubisoft attempted to address with an update on June 18th. The update decreased the amount of weapon experience required to level up a weapon, but also added more weapon mastery levels, thus increasing the total amount of work needed to unlock a weapon's gold, silver, and bronze skins. The change prompted backlash from players resenting the increase in grind to level their best X-Defiant weapons. Ubi has heard their feedback. According to a post from the official Twitter account, the company will implement further adjustments that essentially double the speed of weapon level gain for all players. So according to Ubisoft's preview of the next set of changes targeted at weapon mastery levels, primary weapons will require just 1,500 experience to level up, down from 3,000, and secondary weapons will require just 500 experience to level up, down from 1,000. This should make it much easier to unlock the much desired weapon skins for the many weapons present in X Defiant. Executive producer Mark Rubin for the game had more to add, revealing that the adjustments to weapon mastery will also be retroactive, meaning that all players will receive a big bump in their current level due to the accumulated weapon experience, counting for more. Rubin said that the team feared players would finish the weapon mastery grind too quickly, thus the rewards from it would feel less special, but conceded the team had made a mistake in making the changes progression while the game was live, devaluing the effort players had already put in. Okay, well, it looks like we're getting some retroactive changes to weapon experience there for all of us that have been playing too, which is nice. Very cool, man. Very cool. All right. You guys ready for some Ghost of Tsushima? And probably some X-Defiant. Yeah. We're going to keep pushing through Act 3 of Ghost of Tsushima today. See where we get to with this. And we've got a sick helmet and mask that we're wearing now. It's I mean, it's fashion, baby. We are fashionistas. Yeah. So thanks everybody for the amazing news segment this morning. I appreciate it. We're gonna go play games. Cool. So I don't know, anybody that's not familiar with what we do, this is the Jam, 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday. We're live with video gaming news to begin our streams, trying to stay current on what's happening in the industry and just promote a more informed, healthier place for all of us as gaming enthusiasts, you know, and consumers of these products. Amazing community here. Everybody that's always here, you know, I appreciate you very much. And anybody that's, you know, interested in what we do around here, which this community is just about enjoying video games together, having amazing friendships and creating friendships while we do it, and trying to be void of negativity and toxicity and just spreading good vibes, man. That's what it's about. So if you can dig that, come be a part of it when we're doing it, man. We begin at 6 a.m. CST CDT, that's 7 a.m. Eastern and 4 a.m. Pacific every single day that we're live. Again, every day but Wednesday. And we're always looking for more amazing people to be a part of what we do. So come hang out with us while we're doing it, man. Other than that, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. I'm going to run us an outro to finish up this news segment. But as soon as it's over, we will start getting ready to play Ghost of Tsushima. All right? I'll be right back.